Bill, do you have a formal presentation that you want to make with some guidance to us, or I can just open it up for the commissioners to pose questions?
No, this was it. It's just a spreadsheet to show you the cost, and we sat down and kind of did this, item by item. What if you hired the staff, what the staff would need to function. And that's where the additional issues come from.
Have we separated the rangers now from the workers? I don't think the rangers ought to be mowing grass and that kind of stuff.
No, we haven't.
When they create these new positions.
Well, we haven't done anything to rangers. The rangers are still out there maintaining the fund.
Yeah, Clem, pop your microphone on there. So.
But I think in response to Clem's question, Bill, this would in effect create that sort of difference where you would utilize the rangers for their tasks, and in these 3 or 4 positions you have here would actually be maintenance people rather than rangers.
Correct.
So in effect the rangers would be phased out from doing all of the work.
I think that's what we should do.
I think that was your question.
That's right.
Yeah.
Other questions from the commissioners? And Mr. Bernay here. Larry?
We have a number of different sites. Is this mower going to be utilized at all the sites?
Yes, these personnel and equipment was looked at for the whole park system.
Do you have a trailer and a tow vehicle for the mower?
Well, that's what we're asking for. The truck would be able to tow the vehicle. The truck would be the tow vehicle for the mower.
When you have $18,000 down for the mower, you have a little leeway in case you want to get a little better on the job.
Now, the price of the mower was just an estimate from Mr. Solis that he has looked at purchasing different mowers. He just used that as knowledge.
At this point, are we short rangers anyway?
Yes, I think we're short 1 ranger right now. We have an opening right now, and I think we're having a selection process to hire somebody.
Other questions?
I'd ask the question, Bill, at this level before it gets to the Board of Supervisors, will you reduce the ranger staff because their tasks are less?
Well, that's something I would probably be asked to look at, so I would say yes, I would look at it and see if we can reduce. Right now we have full-time rangers, and we have several extra help to augment them on their days off, and we would look at reducing the hours of what the rangers work, but we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I know you'll consider it with budget overruns at state level, county level, city levels. I'd hate to see all this capital improvement go to waste because we're unable to maintain it. And I have a sneaky suspicion that the first whack of the axe, the budget axe, would be the Park and Rec department, or at least significant. And I would hope that the Board of Supervisors may get a recommendation from this board to definitely consider cutting this, obviously prior to enactment, but subsequent to all the hard work that the county's done to get the parks up to speed.
I think you're singing to the choir when you say that. Other comments?
My thought was just the opposite, that we need a contingency, dollar amount in this estimate also for any overruns, not having to go back for approvals for anything that might exceed what you budgeted.
Well, we usually, we're bringing this into facilities. We would probably, I'm just thinking out loud here, we'd probably put the contingencies in our overall budget for facilities.
Okay.
This was just a bare bones, that's what would it cost to, take over the work.
Bill, what do you think would be effective from this board in the terms of your needs and in light of the fact that that process for budget's going to start very shortly, and we all know there's no secret about what Sacramento looks like right now?
Well, what I would do, if this is a course of action the commission would like to see, you could make this recommendation, but also make the recommendation that we also look at the rangers that we have now. Maybe we could reduce them. You know, because some of this, we have to do a little bit of a balancing act here. We just can't raise this side and keep this side constant. Sometimes when you raise one side, you have to lower the other side. You have to keep a balance. So I think we need to look at the rangers too. I mean, we have, like I said, our full-time, but maybe we might cut back on our extra help, and we have to look at, say, versus what we do with the extra help is try to keep the overtime down, but look at the tasks that the rangers do and what we want them to do. I mean, you know, they might have some, you know, they're not going to be out there mowing grass and fixing sprinklers. They're going to have some additional time, and maybe they could do tasks that are more, you know, ranger oriented. That's what I understand the commission is looking at, and do something that's more related to parks and recreation.
How many full-time rangers do you
I
have?
think it's 5.
5?
I think I have to look. I think it's 5.
You know,
5 and 3 stick.
One of the things that comes to mind, you know, I realize right now we're kind of talking sort of last-minute budget issues more or less, and that's why we're here today. And of course, this was sort of instigated by the fact that we brought up, not only were we putting a lot of money in the building park, but we're also needing to look at the maintenance, as Mr. Well pointed out. No point spending $4 million on a park and then letting it, you know, go down the hill again as the park structures were in the past. The commission is called Parks and Recreation Commission, and so far we're talking about the parks, building them and maintaining them. We don't yet have any kind of real recreation program, or, you know, even, I mean, we've discussed different things. We've talked about, you know, sponsoring, pushing, supporting different types of events. Well, that could very well be what the rangers will start helping get done, or overseeing. If they start having, say, more fishing derbies, or if they start having more events on the lake, then there's plenty of things to do. And I would submit to you that if you have 5 park rangers to do Weiss Lake, Sunbeam Lake, what else do we have?
Red Hill.
And you're looking at a full week, 5 people on that kind of a shift isn't very much. So I'd hate to start looking at trying to cut one side to balance the other side, because that seems counterproductive to me. I think the county needs to look at this from a realistic standpoint, and if it takes $200,000 to maintain the parks, which in my view is not a lot of money when you talk about the amount of parkland that we have. You know, we're not, you know, because I do, my other life or my other hat is LAFCO, and I overlook what the cities have in terms of parks. Most of the cities are short on park acreage. If you look at any one of the cities down here, virtually every one of them has a shortage of the amount of park acreage they're supposed to have by the Quimby Act. The county is just the opposite. The county actually has more acreage in terms of the relationship to population. And that's fine. But more acreage also means more cost to maintain it. And if you're looking at a $225,000 maintenance budget for that kind of land, I dare any one of you to maintain this kind of a facility with that much money. Because it isn't a whole lot. I think the board needs to understand we're improving the parks. We're trying to, you know, we're constantly trying to promote the valley through economic development and other things. And one of the things that always comes up is, quote, quality of life. Well, here's a facility or facilities that goes towards the quality of life. What activities do we have for people to do when they come down here? Well, we need to maintain them and we need to enhance them. So my recommendation to you would be that you support at least this budget, which I think is bare bones, but, you know, you're right. We don't want to walk in and say we'd like a gold-plated one, because then you usually get a boomerang effect. But you know, the commission, I think, should support the budget. And as you did the last time, a couple of you, or all of you, or some of you show up for the board budget hearing.
Any comments from the commissioners?
But when you only have 5 rangers and you got more parks than that, it seems like we're already spread a little thin.
Well, that's my feeling. That's why I said I think, you know, we're...
Well, if you kind of search back in your memory of what people constantly comment about, and if it's in the city, a city of your choice in the valley, or the county, is they say, my gosh, let's try to take care of what we have. And